Hello and welcome to the Most Popular Podcast, a fun discussion about popular culture with a unique Australian perspective. I'm Amanda Bacchi and joining me as always is Dr. Paul Mason.
Hello.
Hello. Also joining us today is the Cheezel.
Yay.
Our cockatiel friend who joins Paul at his late night drawing sessions
Yes.
and is a frequent Kid Phantom sidekick.
Yeah, she's
Sometimes.
kind of the Where's Waldo or Wally
She's definitely a Wally. It's true.
of the Kid Phantom world.
Speaking of Kid Phantom, it comes out in 2 weeks.
Yay. So all the newsagents across the country and selected comic book stores.
Yep.
And we'll be including our first pin, the series of 6 pins. So our first one comes out. They're like those little enamel pins.
Do we know what the first one's going to be?
I think Glenn, the boss, Glenn Frew, said Kid Phantom, I believe, will be the first one.
Yep.
And that'll be packaged up like your, I don't know, the K-Zone things with the plastics and yeah. So that should be good. Looking forward to that. This week, the annual comes out.
The annual, so that's the Frew Annual 2018-1802?
Yes.
Yes.
Very specific. You got it.
Yep.
Yes, that's the first. They always drop that special at the start of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Nice big thick chunky Phantom book. The theme is westerns, so that should be cool.
Yep.
And that'll come with a Kid Phantom mask as well as the they do like a replica edition, which is really cool. So the Kid Phantom mask, I believe, a little bit of elastic, snap that on your face, put on a purple tracksuit, go run around, and you're good to go.
Fight them bad guys.
Yeah. Except it's what was the temperature today? 36.
Yeah, the hottest in living memory.
I probably would skip the tracksuit.
Yeah.
Or it's jungle weather, so that's
True.
probably accurate.
Probably don't play in the bush though.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah. All right, coming up this week, we have a bit of a whirlwind tour. We've got a lot of stuff going on, starting with Paul being the artist in residence for the Brisbane City Council libraries.
Yes. I'll show up and draw.
Yep.
Quietly in the corner.
That's right. We'll take a banner. People can ask questions.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you think people will ask questions?
Maybe.
We'll
I'll
see.
hassle them too. I'll be there tomorrow. I'll be at Wynnum Library tomorrow from 2 till 4 p.m.
You don't necessarily have to hassle them.
I probably won't.
No, let's
probably
not.
sit quietly next to
We
you
will
and
sit
upload the
quietly.
podcast.
Yeah,
It's fine.
that's a good idea.
Yeah, try and find some intro music.
Yes, that's our next on
That's
the
the next
agenda.
challenge after uploading to iTunes.
Yep.
Anyway, so that's Monday. Tomorrow, today, whenever you're listening to this, we're at Wynnum Library from 2 till 4 p.m. Tuesday, we're at Garden City from 1 till 3 p.m.
I haven't been to Garden City in a
be.
long time.
I won't be. I'll be at work at Hamilton.
Yes, that's okay. But yeah, I might have a look around. I haven't been to Garden City since I think Borders used to be there.
I don't know what that is.
It's books, right?
Oh, yeah.
Bookstores.
Oh, yes.
Yes, Borders was like a really good bookstore,
Uh-huh.
and then it wasn't.
Oh.
Yeah, disappeared.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on Tuesday night as well, I will be at 4 Years Strong at the Triffid, which is a band, which is going to be fun. Wednesday, we don't have anything on, so we'll have a relaxed day. Thursday night, I'll be at Papa Roach at the Tivoli.
You got a very busy week.
Super busy. I'm really excited.
Will you be able to hear Papa Roach after the concert 2 nights before it?
It'll be fine.
It'll just be
Yeah, just like this podcast probably will be, because we still
okay.
haven't figured out the technical difficulty, sorry about that.
Can always give your tickets away as a last resort.
Get out. It's fine.
All right.
Cheese will get him.
She doesn't
She's
care.
mean. She
doesn't even know we're in the room.
Anyway, on Friday, we have our comic book meetup, our Brisbane
do
Square
we?
Library.
Oh, all right, cool.
Pop culture meetup with the gang. Looking forward to seeing them. Brad is doing the trivia this week, so Paul got out of it, but we'll still have all of the usual prizes, probably from comics, etc., as usual.
Yep.
But we'll go for dinner afterwards, maybe go to the comic book shop.
Yep.
Do all the fun things. Who knows?
Should be good.
Yeah.
I forgot it was this Friday.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought it was next Friday. Lucky.
Yeah. That's our whirlwind tour for the week, so it should be fun.
Right.
Right.
Cool.
Anything else to add on the exciting things coming up?
No.
No, just drawing. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of the drawing.
Work.
What are you working on at the moment?
Kid Phantom.
What number?
4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, let us know if you enjoy the cut together videos of the chipmunk speed inking and colouring.
Chipmunk speed.
Yeah.
I found out there's actually a word.
Yeah?
Time-lapse.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. I did. Anyway.
So yeah, a lot of stuff happening this week. If you have anything that's coming up over the next week, hit us up in the group and let us know, and we can give it a shout out.
Yeah, we can share it on the next one. I wouldn't necessarily try to promote something like the day after on the day that we record. Maybe give us a couple of weeks notice, and then at least you'll have some people in the local area and beyond that might hear it and go, oh, hey, let's get along to that.
That's right. The only other thing coming up for us is ACAF.
ACAF, which will... Oh, I'm sorry.
Jeez, violently preening. Okay. ACAF
Pin
coming
feathers.
up in start of February. So.
Correct. February 9th to the 11th.
Okay, coming up in this week's news, there has been a lot. We've just been dumping it all on the Brisbane Pop Culture Meetup page. I think we might move it to the group, though, and that way everyone can vote on it and can be a little bit more diplomatic. I like that. Yeah,
in case we're just talking about stuff that...
no one cares about.
The vast majority aren't really into.
Yeah, less about what I think's cool, because, let's be honest, I have no idea what I'm doing.
That's
fine.
The spirit.
It's the spirit.
Yep.
Let's do this. Okay, so in this week's news, so one of the biggest things was the Black Widow movie possibly has a go-ahead with a screenwriter being attached to it, Jack Schaefer.
It's about time.
Jack Schaefer also wrote Olaf's Frozen Adventure.
Oh, God.
The 22-minute film
that's
spinning
not
out of
just
Frozen before
surely
Coco that everybody hated. So,
surely that's not his only screen credit.
No, I'm sure there's more, but that's just the CBR article that I found.
Right.
Yeah. But possible speculations about what could be going on in Natasha Romanova's... Romanov. In her own solo film, possibly include some more of her spy background in Russia. All of those cutscenes that came out of the Avengers movie. Two.
Yeah.
Yep. Whatever happened in Budapest with Hawkeye.
Yeah. It's funny, you can always take like throwaway lines like that and then write entire stories.
Yeah.
It's funny, like I was thinking about it the other day that Marvel had an opportunity to beat DC to the post and have like the first sort of female-led superhero movie, but I guess it's kind of appropriate that Wonder Woman was the first, given that she was the first in comics and was a damn good movie. And I guess in terms of Marvel's model, you've got all these movies that are coming out recently that are basically one-upping every time they roll something out. So you go from, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and then Thor Ragnarok, and they're all these big, amazing movies.
True.
They can't sort of just roll out a Black Widow movie that's very run-of-the-mill. It'd have to be something special.
Yeah.
So it's kind of good that they didn't, I guess, in a way, start early and just
they're going to do it properly.
Yeah, it won't be just a carbon copy Iron Man origin story, but insert new superhero structure of movie like the early ones sort of felt like. So
I also found this screenwriter is currently working on a project called The Shower starring Anne Hathaway, and another one called Nasty Women, which will star Hathaway and Rebel Wilson. So, oh God.
Oh, your favourite actress.
Anyway, moving right along. So the next piece of news that I found was Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things is signed up to do a new Sherlock Holmes movie, which seems to be for younger kids and especially for younger girls. She's
that's a neat spin on it.
Yeah, she's the 14-year-old sister of Sherlock Holmes, and it's based on the Enola Holmes mysteries by Nancy Springer. So they've been around for a while, and the book series, the one that it seems to maybe be going off is The Case of the Missing Marquess. So yeah, that sounds really interesting. There seems to be a lot of Sherlock stuff going on. There was
always is.
Yeah, there was a
public domain.
Yeah, right, of course.
Don't need to pay nobody.
Yeah, cha-ching. So that seems pretty exciting. Don't know how long it's going to be, but it just seems to be like something to watch. Anything that comes out of a book series, especially for that like 13-year-old girl demographic, speaking as a librarian, is always a good thing. Love to see. You'll be excited about this one. There is going to be a John Wick TV show.
Really?
Yeah, called The Continental. It's over
Oh,
at
about the
Stars.
hotel.
Yeah, it's about the hotels.
That's neat. That's a good
Yeah.
idea. So will John Wick actually be in it? Like, see, I'm in it for Keanu.
Keanu's producing.
Okay.
So I guess that's a maybe. I don't think it'll be all about him.
No, you can't really do it because it's one of those things
Yeah.
that, you know, like I hate those movies when they go, hey, here's that character you love.
Yeah.
Want to see all the stuff that happened before you got to, know him? And you're
Yeah.
like, well, if that stuff was better than what we know, wouldn't you have told that story first?
Yeah.
So I'm hanging out for John Wick 3, but that's extra
Yeah.
John Wick I can't complain about. I like
Yeah.
that universe.
Well, this Screen Rant article says that it's chapter 3 is technically going to wind up the films.
Yeah, it has
But,
to. Yeah.
And there's also from the producer saying that John Wick will show up in it at some point.
It might be like those. I guess Marvel and DC do it sometimes, where it's like I can't think of the Batman title off the top of my head. Legends of the Dark Knight, maybe something like that, or Tales of the Punisher, where it's based in that universe. The character crosses over, but they focus on somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I love that it has a universe. It's just like some kick-ass thing that Keanu Reeves did, and now it has a universe.
Oh yeah, like there's a comic series now as well.
Okay.
Don't quote me on who's publishing it. I was gonna say Dynamite, but that strikes me as odd. Ish. They've got James Bond. But yeah, what I liked about the movie, it wasn't, because it's like, oh, cool, assassin. We haven't seen a movie about an assassin before. But this in particular was very cleverly world built. It didn't explain things to you. It just kind of, you saw things and then you saw how it functioned. And like the rules of the Continental are very clear. The currency, it's a very structured world, and it's kind of neat that the audience doesn't know everything about it. And even though John Wick is like the boogeyman, top of the game in this world, it doesn't feel like he has to explain what's going on in the world. It just naturally occurs to the audience as it goes along. So he knows what he has to do in a particular scene. Yeah. Anyway, I could go on and on and on.
For those of you who don't know what John Wick is,
it's a movie
about.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Cheezel, you tell him.
I actually, to be honest, the first time I watched John Wick was on an airplane.
Yeah.
I was very tired. I put it on and I thought the premise was ludicrous.
What's
and
the
I
premise?
wrote it off. It was John Wick is a former assassin. You find this out in the first maybe 10, 15 minutes.
Spoilers.
Yep. His wife dies.
Mm-hmm.
And before she dies, she sends John a puppy dog and basically says, take care of this dog. You're going to need someone to love in your, he's just buried his wife. And then he bumps into some people. They're bad dudes. They like the look of his car. They come around his house. I think he sort of sasses them because John Wick's a pretty smart guy. The car gets wrecked. The dog dies. And that's the
Violence
catalyst.
ensues.
Yes, exactly.
Very good.
So I'm sitting there going, what, you mean he's going to kill all these people over his dog? But then I watched the movie and it films like a Hong Kong movie. It showed, like, Keanu is a weapons master. Like, he's a legitimate, registered...
Certified.
Because he's trained... I could go on and on. Yeah, which I am, essentially.
True.
So you shouldn't have asked me.
It's true.
It's your fault.
Moving on.
So don't give me that look.
It's fine.
Shut up.
All right, moving into something that's possibly going to be just as violent is the Black Lightning TV series, which is going to come out on Netflix.
How violent can the guy be when he
16th of
wears yellow?
January?
Come on, seriously.
Who knows? It might be good. Can you give us a rundown of who Black Lightning is?
African-American superhero in the DC universe, has the power to shoot lightning. I'm sorry, that's all I know. I remember Black Lightning from the Super Friends cartoon in the 70s.
Yep.
And that's as far as I've looked into it. Except it stars that guy from that show you like.
Yeah, it's Levon Hayes.
Yes.
From Heart of Dixie.
There you go.
Who I love.
I loved him in
love.
Remember the Titans. I don't know about your Heart of Dixie show.
Yeah, but he was also in Prison Break and Friday Night Lights.
Oh, okay. Who was he in Prison Break?
Oh God, I don't...
Is that season 1 of Prison Break? Because everything
yes.
beyond season 1 of Prison Break, I erase from my memory.
No, I don't have the wiki open in front of me right now. But I do have the wiki open in front of me for who he's going to be fighting.
Sylvester Stallone?
Probably not, let's be honest. I just thought... Because he seems to be fighting this guy called the 100.
Right.
And so the 100 operatives are Cyclotronic Man, who was accidentally subjected to an experimental purple ray light.
They're always accidents.
Skin transparent, so his skeleton was visible, but the rest of him is electricity.
Zap.
Merlin the Archer. So there is potential crossover with Arrow.
Oh, really?
Apparently.
Okay.
This is Wikipedia,
same guy?
So God
John
knows.
Barrowman?
Oh, well, it's not announced. These are just possibilities.
Oh, are these the rogues you're reading
Yeah,
from?
these are rogues.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. There's a female and a male cyanide, with an S. And a Steel Fist Feeney, a cybernetic right-handed dude.
I'm sorry, did you just describe him, or is that his actual name?
No, that's his name, Steel Fist Feeney.
Steel Fist Feeney.
Yeah. So look out for those guys. It's possibly not, though, because his main bad guy is Tobias Whale, a super strong and tough albino enemy of Black Lightning.
He appears in
He's the leader.
Batman Animated. He was in Justice League Unlimited. He also appeared in the recent the Batman 3D cartoon.
Yeah.
They kind of use him as a arts Kingpin-ish type of character now.
Yep.
In the DCU or animated U.
I think it's going to be a lot like oh my gosh, blanking, Daredevil universe.
Oh, okay. What, you think they're... you're talking Luke Cage?
Yeah, Luke Cage. I'm thinking it's going to be...
In terms of,
that's what the trailer
music
looks
and...
like.
Yeah, it does a bit.
Yeah. It's yellow
Colour
as
palette.
well. Colour palette.
Yep.
Stuff like that.
Big tough guy.
Big tough guy. He's looking out for his family. Looking out for his streets.
But they're not tying it in... You said CW earlier, right?
Yeah, CW.
And they're not tying into any of the Arrow shows that you guys watch?
It's coming out on Netflix, so...
Oh, okay. They're going straight to Netflix.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting conflicting information. I'm not 100% sure on that.
That's like that Sabrina, the Teenage Witch reboot. Netflix is gone.
Well,
we had good numbers with Riverdale.
Yeah, we're going to go into Greendale.
We're going to snipe it.
With Sabrina. This is a Brad conversation. Brad, please pipe in. We're probably going to have to get you on the podcast to talk about it when it does come out, because
I'm not much
all I know
on
of
the
Sabrina
Archieverse.
is she's like this happy, chirpy. She always screws up her magic, and she's got Salem, and it's always about life.
You're
lessons
thinking the
and
TV
stuff.
show, right?
Yeah, but that's
yeah.
But not. I don't know enough about the comic.
Well, in the
series.
cartoon and the cartoon and the comics, it was, because it's all out of Archie.
Yeah.
So if you
Fluffy,
look
right?
at what Riverdale is in comparison to Archie, extrapolate that for a witch character.
Yeah, I know. It seems really horror though, and I'm just...
Well, that's like the current comics with the Afterlife with Archie type stuff and the Sabrina, and you just want Melissa Joan Hart.
Want Melissa Joan Hart. She was so nice when I met her last year. She hugged me. It was the best. We're best friends.
I don't want to be awful, but she's no longer a teenage witch anymore.
Stop ruining my life.
I'm just saying. Salem. How old do cats live for?
Hey, he
is
a magical cat. With magical cat powers, he has 9 lives.
All right,
I'm sure he's only used up 3 or 4, probably 8, but it's fine.
Yeah, all right.
So speaking of other things that are coming out, possibly, the Gambit movie is set to start filming in March.
Oh, all they need is a director.
No, they have a director.
Do they?
Gore Verbinski.
I thought a director pulled out of it.
Yeah, probably, but they have a new one.
How old is that article? I got a feeling that a director walked away recently.
No, 9th of the 1st. This is new.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This is Screen Rant, so...
Right.
It seems legit.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, the guy who did Pirates of the Caribbean, and they've got the costume designer from Mad Max Fury Road.
Do they have an actor?
Channing Tatum.
Oh, good.
It's still Channing Tatum.
It's still Gambit, though.
Yeah.
I was never going to like it. I'm sorry out there for the Gambit fans, but... I mean, if you can explode things... Yeah. I guess deck of cards. Yeah. I would have picked, Bobby pins. I don't know.
They're still trying to figure out who's going to be... If Mr. Sinister is going to be in it. Or because... the telepathic villain, Chandra. Or Bandit, Gambit's romantic rival. Why is it... I like a rhyming name. Why is his girlfriend named Bandit?
I've never heard of Bandit.
That's
I'm
weird.
not an
Maybe they
X-Men
made it up.
fan though, like
Oh.
in terms of I wasn't a reader of the comics.
Mhm.
So X-Men for me was the 90s cartoon.
Yep.
And it was always Rogue. Because
Okay.
the whole
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
it was a very Pepe Le Pew relationship where you had Gambit always trying to make out with Rogue. Rogue, of course, can't touch people without killing them.
Yeah.
Hilarity ensues.
True. They're filming in the same place as they filmed Logan.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
I don't know. Oh wait, there's more information.
Because Logan tied into Mr. Sinister.
Yeah. Really?
Well, the Essex Corporation took the remember at the end of, was it Days of Future Past? What was the stupid one? Apocalypse, where it had a really random. Okay. So at the end of Apocalypse, the Essex Corporation takes Logan's DNA,
Yeah.
and that's how they cloned his clone. I don't think the Essex Corporation was mentioned in Logan. I could be wrong. Someone will rant about this later, because I've only watched Logan once.
Mhm.
But they either on-sold the information, or it is some sort of tie-in, buyout, whatever.
Yeah.
That's why you've got all those mutants running around being developed
Yeah.
in that warehouse, because it's all based on Logan's DNA.
Right. So could tie in. Probably won't.
I don't know. We don't
Just
know.
filming in the same place, really. It's probably nothing to tie in with Logan. Just filming in the same place.
It's interesting. I guess
It's
it's
way
like. I guess it's like the when Disney bought. Oh, thank you for chiming in, Cheezel. Good point. When Disney bought Marvel,
Mhm.
there was still some lag time between the films that were in production then belonging to their respective distribution deals, so
Yeah.
Paramount, and then after I guess the Avengers kicked off, that was around the Disney. Okay, we've got control of the movie slate now. So anything that's based on that 20th Century Fox X-Men type in production at the moment,
Mhm.
I think that's obviously, from the looks of things, Disney. They have. It's not like they've just. Yeah, it's not like they've stood up and go, right, we're cutting Gambit, we're cutting this, everything's off the slate now.
They're just leaving the things that are already in production to roll out.
I guess that's a contract
I
thing
hope
that
that
we're
doesn't mean
really.
they're just gonna like half-ass it.
No, we're
It's
just kind of
interesting that a
speculating about
Disney
stuff like that.
director
We have no
came on
idea.
board then.
Well,
technically.
maybe
Pirates of the Caribbean guy. Who
look,
knows?
these guys are for hire. They're not exclusive.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on
Cheezel
to
agrees.
something that I was excited about is The Walking Dead has been approved. I don't know if I'm excited about this. It's been
You've been
approved
hate watching it
I've been
for a
hate
long
watching
time.
it. It's true, and the finale of season 8 that was just like, oh my god.
Was that a mid-season finale or the final season 8 finale? Like, will they have more episodes in a couple of weeks, or is that it for the year?
I'm a terrible Walking Dead person, and I would just recommend that everyone just read the comics. Go to your local library and get all of the comics, because they're so much better than the TV show, and they move so quickly. So either way, whether that was the mid-season finale or the season finale, it ended quite horribly, and the actor that they killed off was treated absolutely horribly. Spoiler alert, someone dies in The Walking Dead, a zombie apocalypse show. Yeah, I'm not going to say who it is, but apparently he was treated disgustingly by the management of The Walking Dead show. Anyway, so they've got a new showrunner for season 9, and Morgan is going over to Fear the Walking Dead. That's news, that's not spoilers, that's been out for ages. So I might go back to watching Fear the Walking Dead. I stopped after a while because it just got like, what is even happening right now? They're in Mexico or something, and I'm like, okay. So I might go back to watching it. Who knows? But that's the exciting thing for me, because I love Walking Dead, but there's so many things that they could do with it. I'm just, all the whisperers and stuff coming in, and they haven't even touched that yet. They took a whole freaking season to just do like a tiny part of the comics, which wasn't a tiny part. It was a couple of volumes, but I don't care. I just wanted to move faster. Anyway, thoughts?
Every time you watch it, you go, yay, new episode. And then at the end, you're like, oh, there's nothing happening. So it's really funny watching you watch your show.
Okay.
That you love.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. All right, last thing that happened that we should probably talk about is the allegations against Stan Lee.
Should we talk about that?
Yes, I want to talk about it because it's
But you didn't even mention that Conan is going back to Marvel. But anyway.
Oh, well, do you have any news before we finished with
No, I
the
don't.
one thing that's ridiculous that came out?
Yeah, you go ahead.
So with all of the allegations coming out of Hollywood, Stan Lee has had a few allegations made against him from the nurses who attend his home nursing care company, a hotel massage therapist, and an unnamed A-list comic book person who apparently took his wife to meet Stan Lee. She was really excited, and he grabbed her, pulled her onto his lap, and tried to stick his tongue down her throat. Which is really kind of sad.
Is this all out of the Daily Mail, or is there more
No.
sources now?
No, this is pretty much all over the place. It seems collectively coming out of yesterday from Bleeding Cool.
Right.
So I mean, they're wishy-washy at best, but you know.
That's a kind word.
Yeah, it is. But it is all over the place. It came up about a week ago, and it just seems to be spiraling. The guy is 95 years old, and he, you know, I don't know. What are you going to say? Yeah. It's just, I don't even know what to say. We'll talk about it some more at the comic book meetup on Friday, I think. All right, well, finishing up today. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Head on over to the group, which is the most popular podcast and web series. It is a closed group, but I will add you if you would like to be added. You might have seen that we've been working on a new logo. Paul worked on a new logo, and it looks fantastic.
Oh, thanks.
We'll try to put in some intro music or some such thing.
Scooby-Doo-boop-boop-beep-boop-boop.
Probably not that.
No.
And get things rolling, and I'll try to get the YouTunes thing happening, and Paul's updated his website, and looking forward to a big week ahead.
Yes. No, it should be good.
Yeah, cool. Well, thanks for tuning in. See you next time.
Thank you. Bye.